Assalamu alaikum, dear student. Hope you are well and doing great. The video on this topic of pseudocoelomate body plan contain instructive and educational content that is both shareable and easy to retain. So let's start. We can explain the pseudocoelomate body plan. Pseudocoelomate body plan, they are also called the S. helminthes. Now we are discuss the subtopics of pseudocoelomate body plan. This first subtopic of pseudocoelomate body plan is its evolutionary perspective. Then general characteristics, classification, external features, feeding and digestive system, reproduction and development, nematoda parasites in human, and the last one is further phylogenetic consideration. Now we are discussing first subtopic of pseudocoelomate body plan. The first subtopic of pseudocoelomate body plan is evolutionary perspective. In evolutionary perspective, we can explain the two hypotheses. Before explaining the two hypotheses, we know there are Greek word ascos mean bladder and helminthes mean worms. They are bladder like worms. In its evolutionary perspective, two hypotheses are explained. First hypothesis explained that S. helminthes based on the presence of the following structure. These structures are coelom, cuticle, muscular pharynx and adhesive glands. And second hypothesis theorem explained that S. helminthes phyla not related to each other because they are probably polyphyletic. These two hypotheses explain the evolutionary perspective. Now we discuss the general characteristics of pseudocoelomate. Its first general characteristics is distinct body cavity. Its distinct body cavity means they have distinct body cavity present in the pseudocoelomate, but it lack the peritoneal lignings and membrane means mesenteries. Peritoneal lignings and membranes are called mesenteries. Mesenteries found in the more advanced animal. Therefore, various internal organs lies freely in the cavity. These cavity called the pseudosol, and these animals are called pseudocoelomates. Now we are discussing the hydrostatic skeleton. The hydrostatic skeleton, the function of the hydrostatic skeleton is locomotion in the tubular digestive system extend from the interior mouth to posterior ends. Now we explain the utility. Utility, it's a Greek word which means is thrift. It's a condition in which the constant number of cells both for entire animals and for organs of animals is same. The common example of utility, for example, the number of body of somatic cell in adults nematode is 959 and the number of cell in the pharynx of the every worm in this species is precisely is 80. This is the most common example of utility. No, is its symmetry is present. It's a bilateral symmetry, microscopic organism, unsegmented and triploblastic organisms. In these molting or ecdysis occur. Molting or ecdysis means order to grow. These are the triploblastic, bilateral, symmetry and unsegmented organism. These are the general characteristics of pseudocoelom body plan. Then we discuss the classification. They are divided into 6 phyla. The first phyla is phylum Rotifera, then phylum Chinorhynchia, phylum Nematoda, phylum Nematomorphia, phylum Xanthocephala, phylum Lorifera, phylum Peripulidia. These are the 6 phyla of S. helminthes. Now we are discussing external features. Its first external feature is cuticle. Cuticle, they covers a rotifera's external surface. Some species have thick form of cuticle. The thick form of cuticle is called lorica. Lorica provide protection and sport. Then we discuss the head region. Head region contains corona, mouth, sensory organs and brain. If we see the diagram, we see that head region contains corona, mouth, sensory organs and brain. Corona, they surrounded large ciliated area called the buccal field. Then its trunk region is the largest part of rotiferas. Shape of the trunk region, if we see the shape of the trunk region, they are elongate and sac-like. Now we are discussing anus. Anus is present dorsally on posterior trunk. Posterior narrow portion called the foot, and the terminal portion of the foot usually bears one or two toes. Then we discuss the base of the foot. Base of the foot are many pedal glands whose duct open on the toes. These, if we see the diagram, we see the head region, lateral spine, caudal spine, anus, oral cavity and oral cone. We see these are These are characters are present in the external features. Now we discuss the feeding and digestive system. In feeding and digestive system, they feed small microorganisms. They feed small microorganisms than chronicle cilia. Chronicle cilia create current of water that brings food particle to the mouth. Then pharynx. Pharynx they contain unique structure. Mastics. Mastics is a muscular organ. They function as a grinding to food. The inner wall of the mastics contains several sets of jaws. These sets of jaws are called trophi. Then mastics taken food to the esophagus. In mastics, salivary and digestive glands are present. They secrete digestive enzymes into pharynx and stomach. In stomach complete extracellular digestion take place and absorption of food. The absorption of food and digestion take place in the stomach. Then cloacal bladder. Cloacal bladder is a point in which some species have short ciliated intestine that posteriorly and become cloacal bladder. The function of the cloacal bladder is they receive water from protonephridia and eggs from the ovaries and digestive waste. Cloacal bladder open out through anus at the junction of the foot with the trunk. If we see the diagram, we can see that the rotiferous digestive system first is mouth, then mastics, esophagus, intestine, anus, cloacal bladder, stomach, gastric glands, salivary glands, and buccal tube. Now we are discuss the reproduction and development. There are two types of reproduction of rotiferous: female reproductive system and male reproductive system. Rotiferous are dioecious. They reproduce sexually and parthenogenetically. Means male and female both types of reproduction are present. If we discuss the first female reproductive system, the size of female always being larger than the males. In males, they are shorter than the size of females. Females are mostly oviparous, they producing 3 to 50 eggs. In females, there are two categories such as amactic and mactic. Amactic they are diploid and mactic they are haploid. Amactic are Greek words means mictose, mixed or blender, and mactics are also haploid and they are thin and shell means mixed and bladder. Now we are discussing male reproductive system. In the male reproductive system, the male have mouth, cloacal bladder and other digestive organs or other degenerate or absent. A single testes are present and a penis are also present. Penis injects sperm like a hypodermic needle into pseudocoelom of the female. Hypodermic impregation. These are the structure present of the male reproductive systems that in male mouth, cloacal bladder and other digestive organs are absent. Testes are present. Now in the female we also have read that the size of female is larger than the size of male and the male size is smaller than the females. And female reproductive system consists of ovary, tubular oviduct and reticulum membrane, and the males have testes which ends into sperm and hypodermic injections. And in these diagrams we see the female and male reproductive system that mouth present, testes, intestine, cloacal bladder, seminal vessels, oviduct etc. are present in the male and female reproductive system organs. These are the reproduction and development of the rotiferas. Now we are discussing some important parasites in humans. First is Ascaris lambricoides, then Enterobius vermicularis, Nectar americanus, Trichinella spiralis, and Eucheria sep. These are the five important nematode parasites present in humans. Its first parasite is Ascaris lambricoides. Ascaris lambricoides are also called the giant intestinal roundworms of humans. They have highly reproductive potential. 800 million people throughout the world may be infected with Ascaris lambricoides. Ascaris lambricoides are Greek word. Ascaris means intestinal worm. They are present in the small intestine of humans. They produce large number of eggs that exit with the feces. There are two stages. In first stage develops the larva stage. Larva develops rapidly in the egg, molds and mature into a second stage of larva. Second larval stage is called the infective stage. When a human ingests embryonated eggs, they hatch in the intestine. The larva penetrates the intestine wall and carry the circulation of the lungs. They molds, twist in the lungs, then migrate up and trachea and they are swallowed. The worms attain sexually maturity in the intestine and brings egg production. These are the Ascaris lambricates. If we see the life cycle, we can see the larval stage, then ingested in circulation, lungs, trachea, pharynx, swallowed, then the eggs in feces throughout the body. These are the two stages. First is larva stage, and then is infected stage. These are the Ascaris lambricates, the giant human roundworms of human. Now, then we discuss the Enterobius vermicularius. It's also important nematoda parasites of human. There are also called the human pinworms. Pinworms, these are Greek words. Enterons means intestine and bios means life. They are the most common roundworm parasite in the United States. Adult Enterobius vermicularius become established in the lower region of the large intestine, means they are present in the lower region of the large intestine. At night, gravid females migrate out of the cecum of the perineal areas where they deposit eggs containing a first larval stage. When the human ingests these eggs, the eggs hatch and the larval molts four times in the small intestine and migrate to the large intestine. Then adults mate and females soon begin egg production. Then the egg production start in the body of humans. These are the important nematoda parasites, and mostly are also called the human pinworms. Now the third one is the Nectar americanus. Nectar americanus is the new world hookworm. The new word or American hookworm Nectar americanus is the Latin word. Nectar means killer. It is found in the southern United States. The adults live in the small intestine where they hold on to the intestine wall with teeth and feed on the blood and tissue fluids. Means they are present in the small intestine wall. And we see the individual females produce 10,000 eggs daily which pass out the body in the feces. An egg hatch on warm moist soil and release a rhabdiform larva. It becomes molds and infected filiform larva. Humans become infected when the filiform larva penetrates the skin, usually between the toes. Outside defecation and walking before barefoot through the immediate areas maintain the life cycle in human. The larva burrows through the skin, reach the circulatory system. Then they reach the circulatory system. The rest of the life cycle is similar to the Ascaris. Means when they reach the circulatory system, then they go to the lungs, trachea, and pharynx, followed, and when eggs in the feces out of the body. These rest of the life cycle is mainly similar to the Ascaris lambricoides. These are also the human important nematoda parasites present in human and present in the small intestine of the human body, and they feed teeth and with the teeth and feed on the blood and tissue fluids. Now we discuss the Trichinella spiralis. They are also called the pokeworm. Adult Trichinella means Greek word trichonus means hair. Spiral live in the mucosa of the small intestine of human, means they live in the mucosa of the small intestine of human and other omnivores. If we see the common example in pigs, in the intestine, adult female give birth to the young larva. They enter the circulatory system and carry to the skeleton the muscles of the same host. The young larva insist in the skeleton muscles and remain infected for many years, and the disease of this nematode called a trichinosis. Trichinosis disease is caused by these larvae. Another host must ingested and infected meat muscles to contain the life cycle. Most of the humans infected by eating properly cooked pork products. When they ingested the larva cyst in the stomach and make their way to the small intestine where they molt four times and developed into adults. Once they when the human ingested these foods and they go to the stomach and make their wall of the small intestine, then they molts four times and develop into adults. These stage are called the pokeworm, or these worms are called the pokeworms, which are present in the mostly small intestine of humans, and they are also called the important nematoda parasites of human. The last one is the Eugeria sap. There are called the filarial worms. In tropical countries, 250 million humans are infected with the filarial worms. There are the Latin word filia means thread worms, means they are thread-like worms. If we discuss the example of these filarial worms, human filarial worms are and W. malaria. They elongated thread-like nematodes live in the lymphatic system. where they block the vessels. When they lived in the lymphatic system, where they block the blood vessels, and the lymphatic system returns tissue fluid to the circulatory system. When the filarial nematodes block these vessels, fluid and connective tissue tend to accumulate in the peripheral tissues. The fluid and connective tissue accumulation cause the enlargement of various appendices. This condition is very serious. When the lymphatic system, filarial nematodes, adults cooperate and produce larval stage, the larvae are called microfilariae. The microfilariae are released into the bloodstream of the human most and migrate to the peripheral circulation at night. When a mosquito feeds on human, the ingested of the microfilariae migrates to the mosquito thoracic muscle. When they twist and become infected, when the mosquito take place other blood, and the mosquito inject the infected third stage larva into the blood of the human host, the final two molts take place in the larva enter the lymphatic system. These larvae are infected the lymphatic system. If we see the diagram, we can see that infected of the lymphatic system. Filarial worms prevalent in the United States. In Dirofilariae immunes are parasites of dog. There are a parasite of dogs. The adult worms live in the heart and large arteries of the lungs, and infection is called heartworm disease. In filarial worms, infection caused disease infection is known as heartworm disease. Once established, the filarial worms are difficult to eliminate and the condition can be fatal. The prevention with the heartworm medicine is advocated for all dogs. This is the filarial worms, and there are some important nematoda parasites of human and mostly present in the tropical countries. Now we are discuss the further phylogenetic consideration. The S. helminthes are clearly diverse assemblage of animals. The common of these properties are cuticle, pseudocoelom, muscular pharynx, and adhesive glands. There are no distinct features occur in every phyla. If we see the rotiferas have certain features which are common in the acoelomates. The protonophidia of rotiferas are closely resemblance of freshwater turbellarians, and zoologists generally believe that rotiferas originate in freshwater habits. Because both are flatworms and rotiferas have separate ovaries, and rotiferas properly origin from the earliest acoelomates, and may they have a bilateral metazoan ancestor. Now we are discuss the affinities of the nematodes. The affinities of the nematodes to the other phyla are viewed. Means no other living group believe that they are closely related to the worms. Nematoda probably evolved in freshwater habits, like rotiferas are. Some zoologists believe that rotiferas are also evolved in freshwater habits, like nematoda also evolved in freshwater habits. The nematophores may be more closely related to the nematodes because that of any one group of the nematodes and nematophores, they have cylindrical in shape, having a cuticle and dioecious, and they are sexually dimorphic because the larva form of the nematophores and the nematodes are same, and the peripods larva are the extract of the nematodes. Means nematophores and nematodes are more closely than the because of its shape and structure, and because they are the dioecious. These are the further phylogenetic consideration of nematodes. Thank you.